Greetings, people. Paul here, Greenshire. We've got some onions I'm going to harvest here. Excuse me, sweetie. Got to do a video. Here, come on, move on through there. Looks like your nails need trimming. Let me see. Hold on. What was that one? Yep, you got a brook. Yep. All right. Here, watch out. No, lay down. Quit. They gotta see this. These are yellow onions. You can see these tops have yellowed and they're starting to fall over. That's the time that you want to harvest these. Like I mentioned back when I planted my, started my seed, my onions don't get real big because these are heirloom onions. This is an heirloom Italian variety. It's called Parma, yellow of Parma. These keep very well, but what I'm here to show you today is how we're going to harvest these. So when the tops start falling over like this, that's the time, and you're just going to grab the onion and you're going to pull it off, pull it up, and you're going to clean the dirt off a little bit. Don't pull all of this skin off, okay? If it's hanging out like that, you can pull that off, but leave that on there. And we're just going to pull the onions just straight up out of the ground like that. I'm going to do that with all of these, and this whole row right here I'm going to harvest. And then what we need to do then is we have to, I'm sorry, the sun's right in my eyes, we have to, we got to let these onions cure so that they can be stored in the basement for winter storage. We're going to be eating, I'm going to plant more onions, but we're going to be eating on these onions for the entire fall and winter, and here late summer, fall and winter. And then so that's why I grow this variety. It's a good keeper, yellow of Parma, and that's why you have to cure it. When you cure it, this whole outside of the onion is going to get real dry and crunchy, like what you're used to seeing at the supermarket. And the way we're going to cure this is we're going to lay the onions. I'm going to lay them up by the back porch, and I'm going to lay them out in the sun for about 2 weeks, and that's going to let the outer skins dry. It's going to let the onions cure. The important thing with that is if it's going to rain, and that's why I dry them where I do, if it's going to rain, you're going to need to bring the onions back in where they don't get wet, because while they're curing, if they get all wet, that's going to be a bad thing. So I'll show you where I cure them, and why and that's why I cure them where I do. So that the heavy dew in the morning, like you can see how wet the grass is, the heavy dew in the morning and any rain, that's going to affect them, that's going to significantly reduce their ability to make it through the entire winter, because they just won't be able to cure well. So pause the video, I'm going to pull all these up, and then we'll show you where I cure them and how I do that. Okay, so here's the onions I just picked. I also picked some red onions. The red onion I grow is called Southport Red. It's also an Italian heirloom, so also a good keeper. A lot of times red onions don't keep quite as well, but the Southport does keep very well. So I've got them underneath this deck. Now this deck also has tin underneath it, so I've screwed tin underneath onto the floor joist, and water does not get through. It runs off the end. So even if it rains, this will stay dry under here, unless of course we have an east wind that blows the rain underneath. When I check the weather, I'll check for an east wind. If we're going to have an east wind, then I'll either take these in or move them back until the rains have ended. I can move them back depending on how hard the wind is going to blow. But I'll leave them here like this for 2 weeks. The dog won't mess with them. And if your dog is going to mess with them, you're going to need to put them up somewhere where the dog can't. And they'll just sit here for 2 weeks, then all these outer skins will dry, and I'll take them and I'll bundle them together. I'll take like 4 of them and bundle them together like this. Take my baling twine, tie it around it, and then I hang them in the basement just like that. So when Adrian wants an onion, she just comes down with a pair of scissors and cuts it off from the clump, and takes it up and uses it for whatever it is she needs. So anyway, that's how you cure your onions, and I'll get them hung in the basement in about 2 weeks. So thanks for watching. It's Paul at Greenshire Homestead. If you liked the video, please give me a click on the like button and subscribe, and we'll Talk to you next time.